Okay, so I'm speaking to a room of probably two people that don't know me, which is you and yourself, sir, at the back. So thank you very much for coming down. So title of my talk, Flounder to Flutter Founder. Don't say it when you've had a beer. I think I just need to make it quite clear that I wasn't one of the founders of Flutter. I was hoping that might have brought more people in, but it clearly didn't work. This is my journey from somebody that was very non-tech into the founder of a tech company which is running on Flutter. Right, so the boring bit, what do we do? So I represent a company called Labris, and effectively we do this. So we have got a software stack, which is the world's first software platform that integrates communications, task management, payments, and secure coordination of global teams anywhere in the world. And it basically replaces a massive ton of legacy applications which we used to use to do the same thing. Where do we work? So predominantly to defense, humanitarian, and commercial sectors. How does it work? So we have these screens here. What we're looking at is an application which allows you to see and track your people globally, anywhere in the world. You can communicate with them in multiple languages, and you can send tasks to them. And then crucially, once you've done that, you can send them US dollar stable coins direct to their wallet. Right, the fun bit. Okay, so Flounder to Flutter Founder. I am not a techie. So in 2017, left of the screen, that was my life. That person there is me. I've just extracted somebody from a firefight and I'm treating a man with no legs. For 12 years I was a soldier and it was my biggest passion. Still is. 2018 I left. I did my next biggest passion. Beer. Set up a beer company. I drank beer for 2 years. It was fantastic. Soldiering and beer, biggest passions. And then now, this is me. And I'm really struggling, or I did really struggle. I think the biggest moment for me from a floundering perspective was probably about a year ago, where after probably a year of sinking 200 grand of our own money into an app, we had an MVP and we had one person who was a tech lead who decided to sack himself. And I stood there thinking, oh shit, now we're really up for it. And so we went out to the market and we tried to find our hero. It looks like that. Some of you might know him, and if you don't, he's probably cutting around out there. But this man came and he took us from zero to hero in a Flutter perspective literally overnight, and continues to do so. So we're in a good place. We've got good people at the helm. I think a few key messages is what I really want to kind of get over next. So obviously being a flounderer or a Flutter founder, I've kind of gone through a journey of non-tech to where we are today. And these are the couple of key messages which I'd like to get across. So GSD, get shit done. You probably all come from organizations where there's people that want to have a meeting. They want to plan this, they want to plan that, and then they want another meeting to talk about what they've done in the previous meeting. We've got an attitude of get shit done. I'd rather 80% today than 100% tomorrow. Leads me on to the next point. Fail fast. If you work in an organization where you're scared to fail, you're not going to go anywhere fast, because failure is part of a learning journey. And if you can't fail and you're scared to fail, then we're never going to get anywhere. So at Labris, we've got a great culture of fail fast. We push people to integrate, to push, to PR, fail fast, because when we do, we'll learn quickly and we'll innovate faster. Run hot, recognize, and reward. We're a mission-driven, focused company. We see things happening on the telly, on the news, and we respond to that. That's our business set. And so we're always running hot. And what I've worked out with the guys that we've got working for us is if you run them hot, they're happy if you recognize why you're running hot. And we're running hot because we're making a difference in the world. So we're not just coding something because there's a bug and somebody's app's not working properly. We're coding a fix in at 2 o'clock in the morning because it needs to go out, because it's working on an operation which is saving people or making a difference in the world. And then lastly, the reward. The reward really is the recognition, certainly from what I've seen from a dev perspective. If they're doing something which they can see having a physical impact in the world, that's the reward. But also sometimes they need a bit of time off. So after a run hot, let's give them a couple of days. And I think you all guys had a couple of days last week, and they didn't actually switch off. They kept working, but that's fine. And then this one. If you wake up in the morning, and that's why you're waking up, and that's why you're going to work, might work for me as a founder. In a few years, I'll be on a beach drinking pina coladas, happy as Larry, but it doesn't work for everybody. If that's why you're getting up in the morning and you're coming into this space, your team's not going to get up and follow you there. So what's that unifying purpose? Why are they getting up and why are they coming to work? And I think at our company, we're all very mission-driven, but we're mission-driven for a reason. It's because that's not the driving factor. It's a nice to have, but actually we all come to work because we're doing something that we enjoy and we're passionate about. Make it interesting. This is the biggest thing for me. If you come to work every day and it's boring, and you're working on the same boring stuff, again, your team is not going to be motivated. I think we've kind of kicked the mold in some respects from mainstream kind of thinking in the tech world. I kind of drive how we do our planning, and we've come up with this thing called work streams. I've never done any kind of tech planning in my life, but what work streams means is that we can rotate our dev team on interesting topics. So you might be working on an Iridium partnership or a satellite integration one day. You might be then looking at how you can do cell site surveys to mesh communications the next. It always changes, and we keep it mixed up and we keep it changing because making it interesting is key. How long have I got? And the last one, probably the most important one, team. On the eve of battle, when you stood there and you're looking left and right, and those guys are smiling at you, you need to know that when that battle starts, you don't have to look left and right to make sure that they're stood there with you. So make sure your team is correct. Because if you get that right, even when somebody falls at the first rank next to you, you know that there's a layer behind them that are going to step up and do the job as well. If you get that right, then you've got a good tech company and you're going to go far. Out of Helm's Deep into the real world, that's what my team looks like, or some of it. I'm very fortunate.